Yes, guys, we are finally back. We finally made it to another reaction, brothers and sisters. Another one on this YouTube reaction vibrations, brothers and sisters. Welcome to this Mystelics reaction channel, guys. This is the very first out of two reactions. The other one will be where on BrBpTV, brothers and sisters. So definitely tune in for that vibrations a bit later on. But welcome, brothers and sisters. Don't forget to do what, brothers and sisters? Click the like button. I would appreciate that, helping the algorithm to push these videos for them. And of course, subscribe if you've not done so, brothers and sisters. Subscribe, click the bell, and then click all after you subscribe, so you'll be notified when I pretty much drop my videos right there. And then of course you subscribe and helping this channel to grow further and further in that regard right there. Without further ado, brothers and sisters, let us get into the vibrations for today on this here Mystelics reaction, guys. Brothers and sisters, we are back with none other than Jason Grogg, and of course he's planning to make his way back to Dominica, which is rather interesting, brothers and sisters, after being kicked out from the Nature Isle for whatever reason. Apparently we were not told what exactly that was, but of course I must make mention of something rather interesting, because I remember Jason actually made a statement on the basis of them not liking his family. I think it was a misunderstanding. Sometimes when people speak, you hear different things. But of course, the Chambers is definitely making a statement in that regard when Jason made a statement stating that they stated that they did not like his family. But of course, they made this statement right there. No one from Chambers, especially me, the individual he pretty much directed to, one of the state lawyers, indicated that they said anything about hating him or his family. This is why when he made that statement, I said, really, did they really say that? I wouldn't think that they're that stupid to just come out and say we hate you like this. So maybe it was the sentiment that he echoed in that regard. But there's something rather interesting, brothers and sisters, before we get into that whole reaction vibrations right there, that I want to point out. This is why I'm reading this very same thing right there. This individual who he made a statement of stated, I did say I understand the need for compassion in the circumstances of his deportation and his lawyer being unwell, hence she being unable to keep her promise to the courts to file by the deadline. But of course, this individual indicated that the posture of the law is not an accepted legal reason for failing to comply with court order or applying to regularize non-compliance. So this is what the individual must have stated to him, and he took it like they did not like his family in that regard. But that's what they made a statement on in that regard right there. However, brothers and sisters, that is one statement, but you always have to look at the actions of certain things to figure out if that is really the case. Now, I'm not pinpointing fingers and say, okay, this person is this person is that. But because based on the circumstances, we're going to see what is happening right there. We need to question exactly why these things are happening.
In a week.
Oh, it's fast.
Good
please.
morning. It is May 27th, 2024, and in a week.
So he made this video yesterday.
Morning. It is
He
May
posted this video yesterday.
27th, 2024, and in a week, I'll be back in Dominica. Here's the details. Flying out of Indy to Dominica.
So he's planning to fly from Indiana to Miami, Dominica, 1 p.m. He's literally stating the time on June 3rd, 2024.
Via Miami, June 3rd. Be there by 1:35 p.m. This could change, and then flying back.
Guys, I'm not trying to get copyrighted in that regard, so that's why
June 8th.
We get the point.
Of course, all this could change in a heartbeat if the Attorney General and the DPP office actually do what they say they were going to do.
No, he says he's coming back to Dominica, but based on the title right there, back to Dominica for court. So apparently the reference that he made, the previous reaction that he did, was on the basis of the foolishness that the officers were putting forward, stating certain things that did not make any sense at all. But he wants to come back to Dominica because he has court, apparently. Now the interesting thing is, if you are deported and you still have court, I think there's a bit of a discrepancy here, because it seems like he has to show up for court, but he was deported for whatever reason. I think the international community is going to take a look at this right there. This is probably why he's doing this.
I'm still apparently on bail, and I'm still...
Oh, so he's basing his claim that he's on bail, so he definitely needs to show up for court. And if he doesn't show up for court, then, you know, probably a bench warrant or whatever in that regard to make sure that he is there for court. But he wants to come to court, which is interesting because of what they did to his family, which is rather interesting in that regard right there. And I'm talking about his children. Of course, the court literally stated that what happened with his children was unconstitutional and not anything abiding by law. So he has an advantage in that regard right there, which makes me think, was that the reason why they sent him? Because it's clear that the government must lose that case. They must lose that case. So they deported him, and it's interesting what I heard in this video. I saw this video already, but I'm just going to play it for you guys and run off it right there.
Still apparently supposed to be or want to be at court. I've called several times. I'll include the audio here.
So he wants to be at court. That's what he just stated right there.
Or want to be at court. I've called, and I am still apparently supposed to be or want to be at court. I've called several times. I'll include the audio here.
Yes, hello?
Hello, good day. My name is Jason Grogg, and from my knowledge, my court case was supposed to be dropped. My customs court case was supposed to be dropped. But I wanted to double check. I've got my passport renewed after the government stole it. And then so I'll be flying back down into Dominica for my court case. I'm assuming I have to be there if it's still on. And I just wanted to verify that my June 4th court case, Jason Grogg's customs court case, is still in effect.
Yes, it is still adjournment date for June 2024 at 9 a.m. court number 2.
So his case is on, which means he has to be at court. You guys understanding the sentiment right there? So he has to be at court. He's coming down June 3rd to be at court for June 4th, 9 a.m. in at court number 2 on the case that dealt with them, whatever whatever case, brothers and sisters. That is what they're planning to do right there. So the court case was not dropped, which makes you wonder that they probably deport him so he would not be able to come back into the country so he can have his case, and then they'll have him as a no-show. Is that the case, brothers and sisters? Interesting stuff. But he wants to come down, so that's going to be an interesting one right there.
Court number 2. All right, well, thank you very much, sir. So there it be. The Constitution of Dominica guarantees my ability to seek justice. Let's see what the Dominica government had to say about me coming back.
National Security, may I help you?
Hey, good day. My name is Jason Grogg, and I need to be able to speak with either Mr. Raymond Blackmore or his secretary.
Okay, secretary speaking.
Okay, so again, like I said, my name is Jason Grogg. I have a court case before the magistrate court number 2. June 4th is my next date. I have gotten a new passport since I wasn't, my passport wasn't given to me by the Dominica government when they kicked me out, and I'll be coming back for that court case as I try to seek justice. So I just want to know, when I get there and land for port of entry, am I going to be allowed in? So that's the answer I need to hear from the National Security Department.
Okay, I will transfer you to the police department.
Why? But I've talked with them already. They don't have a clue. They always tell me to call you guys.
It's interesting that he's mentioning this, brothers and sisters. Sometimes the people who are supposed to know the answer to the questions, they transfer you to somebody else. These people that they transfer you to don't know the answer, so they're sending you back to the people who transferred you to them in the first place. Communication is key, brothers and sisters, which makes me wonder, is there proper communication actually happening in that regard? Because if you have to, you go to the police tell you call national security. You call national security saying, hey, okay, you need to go and call the police. I think that is a flip-flopping kind of vibe that is taking place. But he has a court case, brothers and sisters. He indicated that he's on bail and he wants to come back for justice, he indicated right there.
Okay, hold on one moment.
Okay.
So there's something very fishy happening, brothers and sisters. And even if you don't side with the guy, brothers and sisters, he makes a lot of sense. Because he has a court case, he's on bail, and he decides he wants to come back instead of escaping bail. Like how people do, like the partner in Anguilla. He got bail and he never returned. They told him not to return. Well, this guy wants to return to ensure he has justice, brothers and sisters. I think it has a lot to do with his principles right there.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, okay, so you will not be able to enter into Dominica.
So he has a court case on June 4th and they're saying that he's not able to enter into Dominica. So the question here I must ask, brothers and sisters, based off this, I understand that they might shed this sentiment and he took it a certain way. But doesn't that seem to be making sense? No, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that they literally told him that they don't like his family, no. I'm just talking about the ambience as to why he would then state that they don't like him and his family. It's very interesting when you look at this, brothers and sisters. right there. He has a court case. He got deported. For whatever reason, we are not sure, brothers and sisters. What was the reason he got deported? We don't know. He's coming back to do his court case on the basis that he has bail. Which this is going to be a very interesting one, guys. To think of this logically, this is going to be a very interesting dilemma right there.
Why is that?
That is the directives I give, so I am just letting you know.
Who you got it from? I'm assuming Mr. Blackmore. Is that correct?
I'm going to transfer you to the police.
You can't tell me who you got.
So now they're going to transfer him back to the police when the police transferred him to national security.
Got the information from? This is Dominica.
Well, I mean, we might say certain things, brothers and sisters, but he's right. He's right. On the basis that he got deported, his case was not dropped. And you would think, okay, his case was not dropped because I've been in different places around the world, brothers and sisters, and I had court matters, and we did it online. So why don't they do his court matter online? Instead, it seems like they're saying that he has to show up to court. So if he has to show up to court and he's coming down to show up to court and they're saying that he's not gonna, he cannot enter as a result of deportation for whatever reason, don't you think that something is fishy going on there? I don't know. I just find it interesting.
Gee, I wonder if there's an entity on the island created by God to admonish an evil and wicked government. Oh, the church. Deuteronomy 27. Cursed be anyone.
The church said, I don't know. The church definitely needs to do more in that regard, and no doubt about it. No doubt, but then you ask yourself what? Because just like elections, you tell people, hey, come together, let's see if we can campaign and show these people that they are not worthy of running government, and we know that they are not worthy of running government. Come together, let's gather, let's have a discussion. Very few people showing up. And then we expect to have change. This is rather interesting, I was listening to a podcast earlier on, brothers and sisters, and the individual, the black African individual, was talking about ignorance. And you know what he stated? He said, ignorance is not from the devil, and therefore it cannot be cast out. You heard that, brothers and sisters? Ignorance is not from the devil. Some people believe because they're ignorant, this demon they have inside them. No. Ignorance is not from the devil, brothers and sisters. It is a learned behavior. A lot of the problems that we have in society today, this is why we cannot go forward, is because a lot of people are ignorant and they choose to remain ignorant. You cannot take out ignorance when you are learned behavior of making ignorance. That is your fault why you are ignorant. This is why when you ask people a number of questions and they stated, boy, Mystelics, what are you saying there is the truth? I met a number of persons, Mystelics, what are you saying there is the truth? But that is ignorance, brothers and sisters. When you have brought logic and you have brought facts before you, and you still decide to stay in your ignorance, that is not demon possession, brothers and sisters. That is your fault. And when you are based in things based on the feelings that you have, brothers and sisters, not on logic or any factual indication of anything at all, sorry about that, brothers and sisters, but without any factual indication whatsoever, then we remain ignorant. And it's interesting that I also saw this other thing some time back, brothers and sisters, and they're talking about being smart. You are not smart on the basis of knowing everything, brothers and sisters. There are a lot of ignorant people and there are a lot of foolish people out there. Why? The reason why people are foolish is not on the basis that they should know everything. No, we all have our own personal biases, brothers and sisters, based on life experiences and what have you. We all have our own personal biases. But when you're biased, this is where you being smart and intelligent. I should not use the word smart. Intelligence. Intelligence is not on the basis of knowing everything. Intelligence is knowing when you are presenting new information that contradicts your bias, you then change to that information that is factual and logical right there. That is intelligence. Intelligence is not knowing everything, brothers and sisters. It is having the humility to change when new information has been presented to you. So ignorance on the whole of what is happening in Dominica, brothers and sisters, is rather interesting. And this is why we cannot go forward. And it seems like a lot of our leaders are ignorant. Yes, they are very ignorant, brothers and sisters, which is rather interesting. Anyways, let's continue.
Who perverts the justice due to the sojourner, the fatherless, and the widow. And all the people shall say, Amen. Indeed, that person is cursed. And so here we are. In 1 week's time, Lord willing, I will be in Dominica pursuing justice in the court system.
And he's smart about this because the international community is also watching him. Because he went up to report what happened to him as an American citizen, and he is coming back because he has a court case and he was on bail. So he has a right to be there. The question here is, if he arrives, what will happen? Will they send him back, or will they bring him to court? Maybe they might take him to jail or something, I don't know. And then when he has his court case or whatever, they might take him out, you know, make him do his court case and then send him back out. I think maybe that is based off, you know, not he was deported, true. So what exactly would be the outcome in this? What exactly would be the outcome in this, brothers and sisters? I think the reason why he's doing this is definitely because the international community is watching. It'll be interesting to know what happens, brothers and sisters. Of course, June 30, he says he arrives back in Dominica.
My God-given right. And beyond that, I have to pack up an apartment. The wickedness of the government is quite amazing. And as a Christian, it is my duty to love God with all my heart, mind, and soul, and then to love my neighbor as myself.
I agree. I cannot agree with him on that basis, you know, brothers and sisters. Whether the people believe that they can do you whatever they want. You are in the government. When police come and they decide they can do you whatever they want. I look at some scenarios in the United States where police believe that they can come and do whatever they want, and as a result of doing whatever they want that is against the Constitution and the laws of the land, these police either get fired and sued, and they lose. They lose, brothers and sisters. And there are a number of court cases that are coming up that the police will, in Dominica, will lose. That is a fact. Because sometimes when people are settled in a position, this is one of the reasons why I like the United States on the basis of, you know, when they say only 2 terms you can serve. You cannot go beyond that, because when people get comfortable in a position, they tend to abuse that power that they have. And can we say that that is what we've seen in Dominica? And this individual is not a pushover. He's not a pushover in any regard at all. So when you try to do him something, especially when you are wrong this family, and then you come up with some sort of bogus claim about you did not know if that was his children, and what? And all you take them from the same house that they were in, and you say you don't know that was his children. What kind of that is interesting, eh? That's very interesting. But what are your thoughts on these guys? What do you think should happen? That is a question right there. Do you think the police should allow him to come in because he has a court case? It's very clear that they did not drop the case, and if they drop the case, then that self is another issue. But they realize that they should not drop the case because that might create an issue, which is interesting. Just to think of it. They did not drop the case. They deported him on the basis that he would not show up for his court case, and then they will have him as a no-show. So this is why I think one of the reasons why he's putting these videos out there, to let people know what's going on. And I think it's very interesting, because also the international community is very much listening to what is going on. So we'll see what happens, brothers and sisters, on June 3rd, right there. Will they let him in? Do you think they should let him in? Do you think, what are your thoughts, guys? Do you think they should let him in? Because he also states that he wants to clear up the apartments that he was staying in, you know? And it seems like the reason for deportation was not handled properly in the first place. So that is a number of interesting questions that needs answering, brothers and sisters. But like I indicated before, on that basis, I don't think that they told him directly that they did not like his family. You know, I guess that's the sentiment that he took. But regardless of that, you know, circumstances would then lead to this questioning right there, because his court case was not dropped. He's on bail. He's coming back to do his court case, and they're indicating he cannot enter the country, which is interesting. So it seems like they planned this where he's going to be a no-show for the court, and they're going to drop the matter, it seems, because they know that very court case they will lose. Brothers and sisters, no, it is highly improbable and impossible for the government to win that case. It is impossible. And on the basis of that, then, you know, all these things could have been avoided. Now, I also know about the 7 Americans that they went for and they put in jail and all those kind of things there, and these Americans had to take a lawyer, and they're asking the question. That's another interesting one. What has happened? Who paid the lawyer that the 7 Americans had to select to represent them? Who paid for them? Because it's not their fault. They just came and started doing things. You see all willy-nilly things that's happening in the nation of the Caribbean. It's very interesting, brothers and sisters. So I just thought I would point that out right there. Like I indicated before, I don't think they literally told him this, but based on the actions, I can see why he's indicating that right there. So what are your thoughts on this whole thing right there, brothers and sisters? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. Tune in for the next reaction I'll be doing on BrBpTV YouTube platform. I would just stay right there, brothers and sisters. I'll see you guys in the next reaction video. Remember, guys, be real, salute the king, be positive.